Sunshine to the rain, this is Growing Pains with Andrew Heckman.
Yo, welcome to the show. We're back again with another episode of Growing Pains with Andrew Heckman, the online edition. Yeah, that's right. We got it in real life one too. We're sitting here in the Ogo Studios. Shout out to our guy here to with us. We got Mr. I Diesel chilling in the background here. This is a very special episode for me, honestly, guys. I'm a bit of a comic book collector. Collector in general. This episode is aptly named Cards, Comics, and Cultivars. Shout out to our guy ID for coming up with the name. And yeah, I've been looking forward to this a while. I know he's been thinking about it a lot. We've been talking about it, laughing, having a good time, and of course enjoying ourselves immensely. I've got some collectibles sitting around here with me. I actually grabbed a couple little cuties there last night just in honor of this episode. And so here I'll just, before he gets up, just in honor of our guy there. This is shout out to ID. There you go, my friend. You're sitting in the background. I found this one last night. Got a gorilla right there on the cover. Yeah, the Super Friends. There we go. And of course, that's nowhere that we have to start, but definitely we're going to touch on all things comic books, cards, maybe get into some see as time goes on there. But all right, guys, let's bring them on up. ID, come on up to the stage, brother. Here we go. Welcome. Dude, first time on Growing Pains, but certainly I feel like we've been doing this forever, man. When you meet a fellow comic book enthusiast or a collector of any sort, interesting. Real quick, man, how you been? What's up? How you doing?
Well, I'm blinking and breathing, so that's always good. You know, I woke
That
up
is
today,
good.
so I'm ahead of the game. You know, yeah, always
Cheers,
thankful
bro.
to be here. Chilling with Andrew, the premiere episode of Comics, Cards, and Cultivars. Who knows if it goes on forward? Andrew Heckman of Ago Grown fame holding me down, and gonna host a premiere episode of Comics, Cards, and Cultivars. I very much look forward to it because I'm ready to geek out.
Dude, I love it.
Fun. Yeah,
Great idea too. And of course we are recording here on StreamYard. So if it gets a little glitchy through the episode, I do apologize for that. On through it with me as best you possibly can. Of course, StreamYard does a bang up job of smushing it all together for us for a great premiere here on YouTube. So by all means, ID, you know the drill. So man, we're just chilling anyways. It's Growing Pains, but it's a special one because I mean, anybody that's ever seen the studio around me here in here or had an episode sitting in here with me, I'm a huge DC comic fan myself. I know you are a huge Marvel fan, right? You're a big X-Men Wolverine guy. Yeah. And then on top of that, everybody else out there in the world's got something else they collect, whether it's Lego or maybe it's Hot Wheels or key sticks or Pokemon cards or MTG or silver spoons, who knows what it is, man. But it's just like, this was an interesting episode for us because I felt like, hey, this is something that a lot of people have in common. And dude, most certainly with you, I was like, fucking right. Somebody that's like right into comic books with me, we can talk for a while. Comic book lore, just everything, the collections. I know you were just saying about how you decided to restore your comic book collection and how did this all begin?
My DC box, and apparently it's G.I. Joe and Transformers, but I found the Batman. I had Batman.
You got some Batman? Hey, bro. You're like, that Batman. I was like, okay. Do you have a favorite? Yeah. Talk to me about everything Batman.
I don't have many Batman ones because he's not like my all too. I like Batman Year 3. Like that's when I started collecting. That's what came out when I was. So I'm kind of biased to it.
Had Batman Year 3 in my hand. Get out of town.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's like that's my favorite. I know people like Year 1, but
Year 1's pretty cool. Year 1 was a really cool. Turned into an animated series as well, or not series, but rather movie. So
these are the only Batmans I have. That's it. But they're older ones. They're like from the 50s.
Oh yeah, man, fantastic. Oh yeah.
This is the first one. Wait, this is the first one with Penguin on the cover. This one.
Oh, get out of town.
Yeah.
Man, I love the old graphics.
Yeah, man. Now I find nowadays they just have the character and that's it. Like, but you back in the days they were like it was like a page from inside the book.
Yep.
You would see, that
You'd
they
see
would
that
just,
storyline.
it would be action packed, like they'd be doing something. Yeah,
That's cool.
It might be the second one ever with Penguin on the cover, but I know it's one of the first ones. This is 19. Let's be nosy. Wow, it doesn't even have the year. I know it's 60s, but I don't know exactly.
Sometimes you gotta flip onto the inside of them and see on the inside
Yeah.
of the cover, or even Googling it or whatever. That's just it. There are so many storylines, so many different eras of comic books. What was it? I mean, hey, the one thing that I love asking people when they get in here with me, what was it that got you started into all of this in the first place? Was it childhood nostalgia? Was it family member was into it? What'd you do? How'd you come across this collection?
When I grew up, I lived by the Holland Tunnel in New Jersey, right? The Jersey side of the Holland Tunnel. And it was all sand dunes and marshes. Until about 1986, they built them all, and a theater and all this stuff. One of the stores was a comic book store, and they had newspaper stores in Jersey City, but they didn't really sell comics. Like there was nowhere to get comics. That was the first time I saw a room full of color like that, And my mom would leave me there while she go shopping to like Lane Bryant or wherever she went, and she would leave me. So I got to talk to the owners and like. They did, I was that kid who's always in the store. And just because I like color and art, I think I got enamored to the covers. I would see a certain cover and be like, ooh, and want to draw it. But I need it, I would need it to reference. So I would buy the books, that I liked, that I thought I could draw. And that's how I got into comics, little by little. I liked Wolverine before he was cool, before they made a movie. I liked him. I thought he was cool. Because in the comic, he's like 5'4" or something. He's like a little guy. But he's, got a little bit of Napoleon complex, don't like people picking on him and stuff. And
Yep.
He's just rough around the edges. I always liked him.
I always liked him because he was one of those gruff and rough Canadian boys. That's I believe that's where they placed him. Yeah, so that was always fun. I always enjoyed it.
He's part of Alpha Flight. That's like the Avengers of Canada.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course it had to be a Wolverine, right? Something to do with the freaking hairy animal. Yo, so what's funny is that I actually have this exact same. Yep, you're one part one. I was gonna say I have, dude. I don't even. I mean, I if we got some boxes up here and you and I actually started digging into them, bro. Like, do you have any favorite covers that you have, or is there anything that you've got maybe like PSA or graded or anything that like is just an absolutely exceptional thing that stands out in your mind?
I like of course Wolverine and the Hulk, but this one's a good
Hulk's
one.
cool as fuck too.
It's a Hulk book, but it's Wolverine on the cover. It's like one of the famous ones with the 3 claws. It's like a very famous cover. They was actually in the movie. If you watch Deadpool and Wolverine movie,
right.
When Deadpool goes through all the things in the beginning, when he's the montage of finding Wolverine, he gets there and he sees the Hulk, and he's like, "Oh, I know this. Aren't you supposed to be fighting?" And he turns around and the Hulk punches him or something. Like you see, he goes clink, and you can see Deadpool's face in the claws. It's supposed to be Wolverine. You can see Wolverine's face in the claws.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's
like
another great. That's another great.
Favorites. I got it back there.
Right about those.
I think this one's good. This one's pretty good. It's just the Wolverine #1 from the miniseries. There it goes.
There we go. Yeah.
It's #1, but they made a mini series before they made the real book. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So this is #1 from the mini series, and I got it for free. My mom lived next door to a lady who dated the guy who drew Preacher. It's like a comic called Preacher,
right?
And apparently, she was gonna throw away all his stuff, and there was these big cardboard with like writing on the back. Hey, Mary, could you color his toe red or whatever? Like you could tell they passed it around the office, and it was like some good shit. And I'm like, okay. I kind of look up for it, and it doesn't exist. They only had black and whites of these. No color ones existed. So I'm like, okay. You know Jay and Silent Bob? You know
Yep.
the guy Silent Bob.
Yep.
He has a comic book store here in Jersey. It's called Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. So I call them and I go, hey, I got something for sale. The TV show, they had a TV show. They didn't really respond, the producers. So I drove down there with the stuff, and the guys wouldn't let me leave the store. Like one guy tried to be like, you know, I might give you $100 for it. I'm like, okay, bye. I start leaving. One of the guys is like, hold up, you know, I think I want that. He goes, you can pick anything you want in the store, you know, just tell me what you want, and then whatever's after that, I'll give you money. I'm like, okay. You say, so I picked what I wanted, which was the Wolverines 1, 2, 3, 4, and whatever I picked, and they gave me a cashier's check. I had to come the next day, but they for like $3,000 or some shit, you know. And I got like $1,500 worth of stuff when I walked out that store that day.
Wow.
You know, it was pretty good. Yeah, it was 2 big cardboards, like big, huge, with drawing on it, whatever. Actually, I had like 6 of them, but I gave them 2 away, and you know whatever.
Old storyboards or something like that.
Yeah, that's what they were. They were storyboards.
Very
pretty
cool.
dope. You know, I wish I would have kept one. You know,
Yeah,
at least one.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You often wonder.
And this is one of my favorites. Wolverine is in the book. It's one of the first. It's a Hulk from the 70s, and everybody gets 181 because that's technically the one where he's on the cover. But this is 180. Wolverine's on the last 3 pages. It's the first time he ever came out in a book.
That's so cool.
Is this one, you know? I could take it out, I guess.
You often wonder too, like when you're holding on to stuff like this ID, like how many times you've held on to something that could have been a price. Like I think about that with like the old Charizards all the time, right? Like just if you had that as a kid or something like that exact issue right there, whether or not you read it or like, you know, you took it to public school with you and you traded it off for a pack of cards or a stick of gum or a, you know, and then, and then
I used to collect baseball
like this
cards
priceless heirloom to somebody else way down the road, or like now it's back to you. Or I love it. I love the concept of all of the collectible nature of like everything that we enjoyed as children is kind of like coming back around. And yeah,
dude, I just realized this book cost $450. Holy shit! I didn't know that. I forgot. I bought this at Comic-Con, you know. And I didn't pay that much. I know that. I never pay what they ask for.
No.
Because you got to be smart at Comic-Con. Go on a
Yep.
Sunday, and you got to think all this stuff they packed up to come sell. They don't want to bring it home.
They don't
They'd
wanna
much rather sell it than pack it back up. So that's when you go. You go on Sunday when they, you know, when all the stuff is they couldn't get rid of it all week, and that's when you play. You know, $400. I got $300 on me. You know what's up? You know, and yeah, I love playing that game. Yeah, I love it.
You like Comic-Cons? You ever get you got a favorite outfit that you put on? You ever do a wicked
I'm
awesome
not that savvy,
costume?
but we did go like 2 years ago for the Todd McFarlane. My son got to talk to him and stuff like that. You know, you wait online and meet and greet, but he got to talk to him. They took pictures and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and I guess you got to pay extra for that. And he just paid to meet him and get a signature. But they were talking for like 20 minutes, so much so that people were like in the line mad. But you know, my son, imagine me but younger and more fit. You know, he's very personable. You know, he could talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I guess Todd McFarlane just got. You know, they were talking for a little too long. And
that's
yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I thought it was cool. Yeah.
That it is cool. I want to actually start going to something. Like I've done a pretty badass Deathstroke costume, so much so that I won my parents to Vegas there, and I won the trip. I just gave it to my parents, but you know, it was Halloween bash, and I rocked out the costume pretty hard, and everybody in the audience was like, that guy wins. They took it to a vote, and I won the grand prize with it. It was pretty cool. Yeah, that was Deathstroke, and then I've done Bane from you know, Christian Bale's Batman. That Bane, the new school one with the weird voice, and
yeah.
and what was the other? Scarecrow from again Christian Bale's Batman. That in the first go around with the crazy mask and the
what's his name? Crane, Dr. Crane, something Crane.
Crane. You got I love doing the villain. Pulling off villains seems to be a lot easier than pulling off the superheroes. I always feel like the superhero. I do them too geeky. I'm never quite fit enough to be Superman, maybe, or gadgety enough to be Batman. I always figured if I was gonna dress up as Batman, have like a proper like build that we can't just have some off the store, off the shelf costume. We got to do our Dark Knight here, proper service. So no, man, I have to wonder about the Comic-Con. So yeah, I love going to those things myself, but I don't get to them often enough. So I was just wondering if you ever did stuff like that, got carried on. It's fun shit.
Yeah, we went to another Comic-Con too. But we've been to about 2 or 3 of them, me with my family. I remember we went to 2010. We definitely went to that one. And 2024, like 2 years ago we went. This one was one of the first ones with the Black Spider-Man. One of the first. There's 3 people argue what was the first one. It's like 3 of them. This is one of the 3 that they like to refer to.
Bro.
But
that's the black suited Spider-Man though. That's not the Venom. That's not the Venom crossover.
No.
I got my Venom fucking action figure. It's sitting over. I'm pretty big with Venom and Spider-Man. My son's right into that stuff too. He loves Spider-Man. And the video games. You ever play Spider-Man for like PS4 or PS5 for that matter?
Yeah. I loved it. I love that game.
Yeah.
I think I like part 2, the controls, like it got better. They made it a little more fluid and stuff like that, but not the story. So I think I like the story in part 1 better.
Right.
There was some things they added with Morales. That I forget his name. What's his name? Morales.
Oh yeah.
Something Morales.
I know what you mean.
The younger Spider-Man. The new one, the new Spider-Man.
I can't think of it, man.
Yeah, something Morales. I know that.
But
they, it's a lot of extra. Like
it'll come to me
because he has so many powers. Whatever. It just, they made the game better, like a little more interactive. But I think the story of part 1 is like super dope. I almost 100% that game. That was that good. Like I like all like everything. I do every little side quest and all that stuff. Like I'm what they call that, a completionist. That's what I'm.
Oh, bro. Yeah, you get lost in it for like hours, like days.
Yeah, if I like a game, I'll try to 100% it. Yeah, I'm like that.
Oh,
I don't do it much,
bro. I purposely stay away from games for that reason, because I know, like, even something as simple as like Mario Kart, like for N64, I'll get playing it, dude, and I'm like, have to play all the way to the end. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you can't put it down once you start. So I know if I get something like hyper interactive, like a comic book game that I'm really into, and I know secret little backstories and like Easter eggs and all of that crap, and you're like, dude, it sucks you right in. You're like, oh, what's the next thing I gotta do? What's the next thing I gotta do? It's like,
I think Batman was like that. The Arkham Knight games, they were really super
brutal. Caught you, trapped you in. Yeah. Oh, it's just that one more little side mission. 4 a.m. rolls around. You're like, fuck. I gotta work in 2 hours.
You had to build up his thing so you could fly farther. You had to build up, all his shit as you went along. Yeah, it was a pretty good game. That was a good one.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, they did well with that one too. Sure. Man, there's so many things. What else do you collect besides comic books? Maybe it's not much of anything else. I used to collect
baseball cards, probably the first thing I collected. My mom gave away my baseball cards when I was 19. Damn. She doesn't like me to bring it up because the kid she gave it to bought a brand new car and with rims and a ski rack. And he
stopped bringing it up,
Honda Civic, and he's like, "Tell your mom I said thank you." And I'm like, I want to eat my face off. It's not your fault, Jamie. I know it's not your fault. I would have took him to it. I get it. But every time I see him, I get reminded of it. Like, but again, it's not his fault. He was the neighbor kid, and my mom was cleaning, And by 19, I was running in the streets. I was kind of a drug addict. Probably not great, but I had a long run. We all know. Glad to be back. Glad to be back. But
Glad to have you back.
yeah. But she didn't see a reason to keep him, and she
Right.
does not like me to remind. Whenever I mention that I used to have comic books, I had 3 Don Mattingly rookie cards. They were black and white, like just those alone. They were like I had so much good stuff. Just the fact it took your kid years to collect that, and you say maybe I should hold on to this, like. Yeah, she does not like me to bring up this topic. Is it? Which
Sorry,
is probably
Mom.
why I'm sharing a lot because I don't get to talk about it.
Sorry,
But
Mom.
that was the first thing I collected, and you figure 7 to 12, and around 11 years old, I discovered comics like hardcore.
Cool.
That store, I got to know the owners, these 2 black guys who owned it and stuff like that, and they had a second store in Hudson Mall, and just I learned a lot. They took the younger one, I guess, took a liking to me. The son of the owner, and he was probably like 17, 21. A little older, and
Yep.
he just he schooled me to everything I didn't know. That I had discovered. I bought Superman. I bought some Superman and Batman and certain things. Not really Wonder Woman or Green Lantern, but once I discovered X-Man and then Wolverine and everything segued off them. Daredevil, Spider-Man. It was all Marvel. That's why I think I'm a Marvel guy because I started with X-Men and they kind of became my favorite. You know what I'm saying?
There's nothing wrong with that. I think I'm a good old fashioned just world's biggest Boy Scout type enjoyer there. I don't know. Batman and Superman was always just. I think that was probably just the childhood jam, like a lot of those TV shows on. And just probably that was more exposure up here where I live than Marvel, so to speak. But it's funny too because thinking back when you're watching, say, a current episode of some show, whether it be a Marvel show or it's DC or whatever other faction of entertainment you watch, you never really realize it at the moment. But like sometimes the mythos or the storyline of that show contradicts everything that you've ever seen in a comic book storyline or something about those characters before, and you think, wait, this is all conflicting information. But it's really weird to think that that's actually done on purpose in order to build out multiverses, right? To build out multiple storylines, to be able to bring back recurring members and multiple Supermans and multiple Batman. It's fun, right? Like you just don't realize it at the time. You're like, wait, why did they change her name to that? Or like,
I know this girl, right, from Jersey City. She created Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, like a little Miss Marvel. I forget what's her name, something Marvel. Kamala Khan, that's her name, right? So she created her. She's a comic book. She's been in movies. Not the greatest character, but it's a character. When I knew her in school, and I know the way she thinks and the way I've been around her when she talks about this topic. Her thing was, well, because I was like, why change the comic? If the comic is so good, y'all gonna make it into a movie. Why don't you just follow the comic? Like why try to reinvent the wheel? That's what made it good is the comic. So why not follow that story?
I know.
And they think they could do better. They just think, because of the archaic patriarchy and just big buzzwords.
Yeah.
And you got to make it for modern audience. But modern audiences don't buy tickets. The people that want to see a new X-Men movie are the guys who saw the first X-Men movie in the 90s. Most people that are going to drag their kids are the people that saw it the first time and that enjoyed it or whatever. Look at any show, all those Netflix shows. The only one people like is One Piece, and it's because they stood true to the story. Right. It's really not that hard. It does it's so good that they're gonna make it into a movie. Just follow the story. I don't understand why they do it.
It does seem like it. Well, and the other problem too is the amount of redos that have now been done. I dare say the other thing that we could maybe have, writers do would be get a box of these old things. Hey, deep into the old storylines and see how intricate some of them really were and how they've never even been touched, they've never been looked at, they've never been played with, and they could be storylines in and of themselves that have no new, like, you don't need to introduce a new superpower, you don't need to introduce a new member into the storyline or this league or the, whatever. Like, you could go back and retouch, like, go and do something out of the comic books, just like you said. Find something that has not yet been addressed. Like, they've never done there's been so many storylines where it's like you see Superman do the same old thing, and it's like, dude, you got to like shift the pair, like take Superman out of, make it a story about Superman, but take Superman out of it. Like Smallville, I think, was maybe one of the bigger hits, because it was almost like you knew how the story ended, i.e. Superman comes and saves
the end.
Right. But yeah, how did we get to Superman? Right. And Gotham also was kind of that TV series. It was five seasons. My son absolutely loves it now. But it's called Gotham. And that Batman arrives eventually. But how did we actually get there? And so like those two kind of TV series at least have stood the test of time in my eyes, because it just tells the same old story, but in a totally fashion that's free for people to like newly interpret and make their own conclusions. And it just does the story a service rather than like a disservice, like you just said, where it's like you took the old thing, you tried to make it better with some like weird ingredients that aren't necessarily part of it at all, never have been, weren't
modern audiences. I just thought that was always funny.
Yeah,
man.
It's
weird. People want to subvert
right?
things. They want to stand out. They want to be the one. Oh, you're the one who reinvented Batman and said Robin was gay. And that's a great story. They want to be that person that changed it, 180'd it, and people love it. Ryan Johnson was probably the only one that got that off. That was praised for like destroying Luke Skywalker. Like, for some reason people loved it. Hey, God bless you if you like that movie, but most people just want to see a hero be a hero. It's really not that hard. A little struggle, a little learning, and then they win at the end. We all know what's good and bad.
We all know what's good. Well, it's what I was in this chat with. I can't remember who I was talking to, but I decided as my son was growing up I didn't necessarily want to subject him to the ways of, say, a religion without his consent, like at least talking to him about it and maybe having him understanding, the weight of deciding a religion rather than me indoctrinating him into one without him realizing it. But I still was left with the question of how do you raise a moral child, right? Like, how do you make a child make good decisions without necessarily thumping a religion into them from day one or whatever? And so honestly, sounds weird, but comic books actually did a great job of showing him what happens to a person in situations and how sometimes you have to dig deep for results that you didn't know you could find, or sometimes you have to face things in a courageous manner when the energy is low and the gadgets have run out and all hope is lost. And there are a lot of things that comic books bring to us that teach a little bit we ought to act, or at least we know what's right, without having to bring religious allegory or some heavy-handed guilt into it.
That's exactly the word, though. The Bible is all allegories, right? Stories that's supposed to teach you moralistic value. And Spider-Man is broke through most of them comics. He's stressing, not getting the girl and all this, and he still has to save the city by the end of the book.
A lot of issues, right?
And
a lot of issues underneath, but like still choosing to fight on and fight the good fight. And even things like again, like, not to go right back to say like an episode or like a show like Smallville, but that was a great thing for the portrayal of two characters that almost appear neutral, right? Like, say, Superman and Lex Luthor. Both of them are just kids. What happens to kids along the way to make them go great and make them go greatly evil? Like, is there, are there deciding factors? Is it all based on one person? Is it one moment in time? Is it repetition? Is it parents? Is it, right? There's a lot of things that make a storyline, and like a lot to consider, right? There's a lot of, and you can see it through that. Like, how does the hero get forged? And it's
because
like,
if I recall correctly, Clark saves him from crashing. He's going to crash off a bridge or something. So they become friends, And Lex's
Exactly.
thing is that he knows this. He's hiding something. There's something he's not. So he doesn't start hating him or anything, but he kind of knows something's weird about this guy, and Clark won't tell him. He won't be a good
Yeah.
friend or whatever. So,
Yeah.
I
It's
think
just
Lex was gonna flip out no matter what, but they do a good build up.
right.
The guy
Well,
who acted as Lex did a good job.
yeah.
I like that.
Michael Rosenbaum. That guy's actually one of my favorite actors. Yep, he's a really great actor, and I think he was probably in my books in that show one of the best portrayals of that supervillain because he actually portrayed the means and the wit, and not only that, but his father was the villain above him.
I think his father, the actor
was
who played his
even
father,
cooler.
is probably the best one in the show. Yeah,
Yep, Lionel for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Oh, why can I not? I want to say that's John Glover.
Okay. Yeah,
If
that is his last name.
I think that's his name. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
And he's got to be one of those dudes that has a DC contract because you'll notice see recurring actors and actresses too, which is really cool. You tend to notice them. Like he was the dad in Shazam, actually. He was the dad of the villain in Shazam. Same guy.
Oh shit. Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's like they know he can do good things as a villain dad. So hey, put him in. Coach, put me in. But I
like Shazam. Shazam, the first one, I like that movie.
Shazam was dope.
Yeah,
that was a great movie about the power of family, and not only that, but the power of building your own family. So like that was that one spoke volumes for me and my kin, personally speaking. But yeah, man, and again, beauty of comic books right there. We find little bits of ourselves all over, right? Like I'm not gonna be Batman, but still I can learn something from him. I can't fly to space. I'm not Superman, but I can learn, you know what I mean? I can learn something about the way he handles himself, I guess, in those comics.
A man that could break the world in half, but still would rather talk through a situation and calm it down through that's what people
down, man.
I always like that movie Kill Bill when he explains that Clark Kent is really the mask. Like and dude, that is one of the best monologues ever. A little twisted and a little evil. Like it's probably not that serious as he's
deep. No, great.
But there's some truth in what he's saying.
Exactly the scene. That's a great thing, ID. Wow, I should revisit that one.
Yeah. I'm looking through my Spider-Man's, leave it alone. But I just noticed I have yeah, I knew it. I've got 180 and I've got 182, but 181 is the one everybody wants. This one is the first one, Wolverine, 180. He's on the last 3 pages, and this one is the end of that story. It's three book story, but the 181, that's the one that everybody wants. It's like $1,000.
They're smart when they do it, eh? You'd almost think they had a crystal ball when they do this type of shit. Like, oh, this is gonna be big. Like you know what I mean? Like give this 30 years, bro. This is gonna be big. Like oh man. No, it's true, dude. I'm sitting here, same conundrum. I got 30-year-old collector cards. That's insane. That whole part of everything is insane. I don't know if you've done anything. You were saying MTG before, correct? Were you into that? Or
my son is into Magic the Gathering, right?
Like he's into it right now?
Yeah. He's building decks and all that. He goes to the store around here where we live, where we moved to. He goes to 2 stores and plays on Fridays and certain days with other people. And he came one day home. He's like, they don't want to play with me because my deck is too strong. And then he went to another place and he's like, my deck's not good enough for these guys. I got to build it up. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But I played once with him in the beginning of the year, and it was fun. We played Commander, and it was fun. I think he let me when he took it easy on me, so I could understand the game. Because you start at 40 and then you go down to 0. And it was. I understand why people play it. I get it. It was it was cool.
I always say, like, over on our membership side there, like we literally started the Zard Hunters Club as one of our chat rooms, one of our that people can contribute to and share photos and whatever. And I remind people we are an equal opportunity collectors group here. Like if you're into MTG or you're into World of Warcraft or Dungeons and Dragons or you collect bows and arrows, I'm like, see it. I see, like, I don't care. I don't think anything's wrong with anybody's collection because we're in the nostalgia economy. Like, if you think that something's rad, who's anybody else to say that you should not think that that's cool? Because like I look around and I'm like, I do catch myself. Admittedly, I'll look at things and I'll be like, no fucking way, that's cool. Or I'll be like, what? People have a value of that, but it's, hey man, the world takes all types. You know what I mean? Like, just because it doesn't make sense to me, bro, who am I to say? You know what I mean? Who am I to say it doesn't make sense to somebody else, man?
I mean,
Some people
like you figure that people that collect seashells, you know, and
yeah, fuck
they're
yeah,
like
or like
worthless, but they see the beauty in every separate seashell, or finding the same one in a different color, or whatever it is that they find beauty in the collecting part of it. They're not just hoarding. They're not just taking a seashell and throwing it in a box and forgetting about it. They're like taking the time to get special ones that they think are nice, and you know they put in what they do with that. I'm trying to make a comparison between our collecting.
It's cool, man. I get it.
A passion for something, and you take the time to really care about picking a beautiful one. You know, people collect coins. People collect everything. You know, like
You ever collect coins?
My girl's father does. He has books of like specific coins that they printed things backwards, and you know, like this one's worth a lot of money, you know, because Abraham Lincoln's upside down. Look, you know, whatever, you know. They print the back on both sides, you know, specific.
Oh, Harvey Dent situation.
Yeah.
Two heads. That's so cool.
Like a dollar bill where they forgot to put the owl in it.
Right.
Like, you know, when you zoom into the number, there's an owl in the number one. If you have a mic, like we use jeweler's loops. Right. If you look, there's a little owl on the number one, on one of the number ones, right on this side, and they didn't put it, you know, on the dollar bill he got, or whatever. Crazy. Like little things, you know, mistakes.
Yeah.
That's basically what makes things worth.
My papa used to roll around with $1,000 bill in his wallet because that was just like that was his little thing to make him feel wealthy.
Remember those?
Right?
He just that once or twice as a kid.
Yeah, he'd flex it every once in a while and just like, you know, he'd be like, "Yep, fine." I don't know, man. It's like what a cool thing to have. I don't.
They had five.
Actually, I believe it was the.
I never saw one.
I believe it was the $1,000 bill just lost legal tender in Canada as of 2021. So they stopped accepting $1,000 bills at cash registers everywhere.
So if you held on to it too long,
yeah. I think you still go cash it in, but then that shit's getting shredded. At what point and that's such the weird thing about a nostalgia economy, at what point does a penny become worth more than a penny? Or even the concept of just the fact that copper gets more and more scarce, you know what I mean? Like we only have a set amount of copper that is in circulation, so
it takes
tied up in pennies forever and ever.
Make a penny. Like when they do the math, it takes 1.3 cents to make a penny. So it costs more to make it than it's worth. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and then like, you know, that $1,000 bill, I wonder what happened to the value of it the second that they stopped accepting them as legal tender, you know? Then it's like, it's still what you could still take it to the bank in theory and get $1,000 for it right there on the spot, right? Boom. But the fact that you can't get one anymore, the fact that thing no longer is in circulation, no longer being printed, accepted, made, anything, all of a sudden that $1,000 bill is worth, we're going to ask for $1,500. Like,
even $2 bills. People keep $2 bills for safe, like for luck or whatever. They tape them to the top of their door.
Hell yeah.
My grandmother used to do that, but you know,
old paper money's neat too. I mean, the artwork that they had on it, right? Like,
that $1,000 bill you're talking about, if you look, it's a lot of little flurries and calligraphies and stuff in the circles that lead to the numbers on the corner. And you know, I know as an artist, how hard it is to do that. You know what I'm saying? And, they got to engrave it into things because they're plaques that they print the money on. You know, so all that is drawn on metal. You know, say somebody carves it into a metal thing, like. That's great. Somebody could do all
It's
that well.
insane what they do for currency, bro.
Yeah.
Here's
I
one
figure
for you.
they got to make it hard, right?
Can you imagine being a scuba diver and going down where one of those like pirate ships or like something shipwrecked, and you go down and you find yourself a little treasure trove, like some Count of Monte Cristo. You know what I mean? Like you just find a little clay pot stuffed with gold, or just just some
Wow.
incalculable coins,
Yeah.
like Roman Empire shit, and it's all hand stamped. And dude, it makes you wonder about everything, man. Like the collectible market, man. What's collectible and what isn't?
Yeah, it's true though. It's true. People
Yeah.
collect old microphones, whatever. I know people that collect analog tracks. Like, so when you do music, you have like a soundboard or whatever. They got these old one called Kadak. They're from England or something. So it's like a shell, and then they still use them on Broadway. It's a $250,000 just for the empty shell, and then they put every knob one by one, across. There'd be like 1,000 of them or whatever.
Wow.
It takes millions of dollars to build a Kadak. And they were made in England, and they used them on Broadway, and they rent them for like $3 million a week, and it's really crazy. I know, because I was used to be a show captain, and I had to scan everything to make sure they get charged. So so I know how much they used to pay for them.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and people collect that stuff for that reason. Somebody wants a Kadak 800 that they recorded the third Beatles album with. For some other reason, this guy wants it for his play. They have to find a guy like Andrew who has that, and they'll buy it from him. It turned out him hoarding that piece bought him $250,000.
And that's, dude. So do you think that leads, honestly, ID? Do you think that leads to people almost ending up hoarding from time to time? Just that even just that prospect alone.
Only because we can all see the value.
Just a minute before the show.
How many times you look at a garbage and be like, "Oh, somebody threw that chair away," or what? Like whatever it is, you see the value in something even when it's next to a garbage can. We all know I could fix that little creak or whatever. Oh, let me take this table. It's pretty good. Whatever.
I can flip that set of tires. What the fuck you doing there? Come on, throw those in the.
Still got good rubber.
It's true. It's so silly. Yep.
I could keep this like for a spare, what I'm saying? Better than throwing it away, whatever. We always find the value in things because everything's so expendable. Things are built to break now, and you get a new phone 18 months later, you need a new phone, and things don't last. So
you have
your old to find something
because that new one's probably gonna crap out, right?
Yeah, dude. The minute I started plugging, I have an old iPhone 12. Not a sponsor, we were just talking. But I plugged it to my laptop because I'm trying to use things and utilize. The minute I updated my phone, it's acting hinky. I can't even record videos anymore.
She gone.
It's totally wigged out because I updated it.
So, dude, that's hilarious that you mentioned iPhones because, again, iPods, the old, the iPod Classic, the iPod Mini, all of those ones, they're huge. They're huge again because it's like I think it's now they're rebranding the iPod Mini, or maybe I just saw that somewhere, but I'm pretty sure they started to rebrand it as like no screen, no distractions, just music. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm sorry. Apparently there's a woodpecker outside my window, like it's going and I thought it was my phone.
Oh, I can't hear shit.
Noise? And I just noticed it's like a bird that's on my window.
You got like a bird thumping on the wall. No worries at all, man.
It's doing some sound effect. It bugged me.
Oh,
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No, but it's funny how like old pieces of technology all of a sudden retrend because people is like, okay, every time I start up my iPhone, all I want to do is throw on music. How did I end up doom scrolling on IG for a half hour? Right?
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted music. I'm at the gym. Fuck off. Like, and so people are like, where's my old iPod Mini with the play button and the pause button and the charge port and the phone jack? That's it. And like, I gotta say, sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or at very least, if you want a new model, leave that one around for people to enjoy even longer. Because like, How many people now are realizing, oh, I just want my songs on a little thing. I don't want to look at them. I don't need the input. I don't need the full track artist. I don't need other songs that sound. I like my playlist. I want to go to the gym. Shut up. Like
I don't need all
too
these
many
bells and whistles. Yeah.
Just stop what dude. I saw a thing where they said bring back the way that vehicles used to be built. No modern technology, just manufacturing.
Yeah, I don't need my car to sync to my phone. I just need the starter to work and the gas to, move my car forward.
And like if you make it dependable enough that I don't have to take it for repairs and I'll pay extra.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not to cut a mechanic out, we'll still need mechanics just by nature. But when you feel like things are built to break, it just makes you feel like I look at my 2011 F350 with such glowing eyes because I'm like one of the last of, you know what I mean? Like they started to switch everything in every vehicle where it's like, even if you got an F350 nowadays, you're like, what am I going to break on it first? And how much is it going to be to replace? And,
because all the the newer cars, if a sensor on your tires, you leave that light for a while, it kind of fucks everything up. Other sensors start going because you're not attending to that one. And,
the AI wants your attention. It's like, I'll start
where
flipping.
The old cars, you just needed a spark to work, the gas, and then like three things, and a
fuel line
will move. It will drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. No, I think we'll see a lot of that as time goes on, as people just wanting. Well, first of all, I mean, I was just seeing a thing like it was back in the 50s where they were like suggesting ways that you could make parts to fix the car yourself.
Okay.
Like it sounds offensive nowadays to say that, but like they were like, oh, grab a sheet of fucking tin metal, grab your ball peen hammer, fucking start smashing a curve in this thing, put a drill. Like they're teaching you how to replace the part instead. Like it was what an idea is like. We make things that you can actually fix yourself, like with things,
and they don't want you like we had like TV repair shops and VCR repair shop. There's no iPhone repair shop. They literally don't even let us take the battery out anymore. They don't want us. They want us. Can I get my phone fixed? No, just buy a new one. Like
they're like, how about a new phone?
Yeah, no, there's a guy on the internet. He's like a lawyer and he owns a store where they fix stuff. And apparently he's in a legal battle with iPhone, with Apple, because the Right to Repair Act or something, and they don't want him fixing stuff. They want him to stop fixing stuff. And he's like, if I'm smart enough to figure it out, which they make it hard. They don't sell the schematic, they don't sell the blueprint. He has to figure out how to fix stuff because they just won't sell. How was it built? How was it made? What does this transistor do for this one? Or whatever. They don't want to sell that. They don't want to give that information. So he's the kind of guy that fights for that, like the right for him to be able to fix stuff for us without having to buy a new one. They're really working hard to just make us buy new stuff. They don't want us recycling old stuff that could still work. iPhone 3, it's still good.
It's still good. It's still good.
The minute you update that iPhone 3 to iPhone 17, it won't work as well because
that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. I have an iPod from high school. Admittedly, it does not have that new of tunes on it, my friend. But hey, if you need a grow room music source, right? The plants don't care if they're only listening to about 200 songs and it's on rotation. And it's rap, it's rock, it's like whatever I had on in high school. So and like it's agreeable enough to me that when I'm working in the grow room, I hear it and I'm like, this is awesome. And again, it's not taking my phone, it's not taking my time. I don't have to walk in and set it up. Sitting in there, it's always on the charger and it still works like after however many 20 odd years, right? I think iPod minis, like the one, like it was like that tiny little screen on it, scroll button, all that. Look, it's got to be 20 years old at this point. 2006. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe not. I don't know when iPods came out, but certainly it's cool as fuck that it's still running and just got those old tunes on it and it does its thing, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think we got a few laying around, old ones. Just the one you said. We have a gray one that's like skinny and it's like rectangular. It's
Yep.
like right, and it has the screen.
Exactly.
And then we have a real little one. It's a little square and it has no screen. It's just a
That's
little
the mini.
tuna.
Yeah,
it's like a little
the
tuna.
mini. Those ones will be
Yeah.
coming back because people just hate screens now, apparently. Well, I get it though. I get it. Do you ever just put your phone down and just like pick up a comic book? Hell yeah. It's way easier eyes and the brain.
Yeah, man.
I
But
definitely
it's a beautiful thing. I love collecting. I love it's kind of nostalgic, you're right. You know, it reminds me of a time, you know. Every
yeah,
time I
fuck
see a
yeah.
cover of a book, I kind of remember when I first saw the book, you know, like so
Oh, yeah.
I collected a lot of books that weren't like monetarily worth a lot of money, but they worth a lot of money to me. Like it's the first Spider-Man I ever bought, or I remember where I was when I bought the book, things like that. You know, so that's all nostalgia. You know, that to me, some of that is worth way more than a $400 book of whatever. Yeah, you know, it's kind
I
of
was gonna ask. It's funny. It's funny how comic books kind of tie into toys because action figures are the natural kind of next step after comic books. If you're a comic book fan as like say a little boy like I was or like you were, then you got to have the action figure. What other toys along the way did you become obsessed with? Like as a just since we're talking about collectible shit, like I think about hogs, yo-yos, fucking Tamagotchi bullshit. That was huge back when I was in school. I was like, yeah, those are whatever, but people loved them.
yeah. Yeah, Pokemon came out in the 90s when I was probably 92, 93. I was like 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
I guess I was just a little too old to, go collecting, whatever. I don't know why I didn't. You figure by that time I was already into doing music and whatever. But
Yeah, did you collect any like vinyl records? Did you collect
I collect.
CDs? Did
I
you have one of them
collect
Columbia House?
Transformers still to this day. I have
Hey,
Transformers. I have Transformers in the box still. You know, like
there you go.
all in my garage. There's like
So who's your favorite?
a Soundwave.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I like his voice, menacing. I love that he always followed directions and always got shit done. He was under Starscream for some reason. Starscream was second in command, but
Right.
Starscream was inept. He's not good at his job. You know,
No, he wasn't.
Always,
He was brutal.
yeah,
Kind of brutal at his job,
yeah.
actually.
But Soundwave got shit done. You know, Soundwave always whatever he was told to do, he got it done. You know,
Yep.
he came back with the information. You know, whatever he had to do. And he's cool. He had the cool voice. He was a music. You know, whatever. I kind of like Soundwave. He's my favorite.
That's cool. That's cool. I was honestly, I loved Optimus. Hey,
Yeah.
again, I think it's something about just being a good old fashioned freaking little Boy Scout. Just like guy never gave up. Guy never lost hope. Going, just kept
and not in a
rallying the
corny way. Like he wasn't the hero in a corny way. Like some people might look at Captain America. He's just a goody two shoes or something. No,
Right.
He was like he was very poignant and like he kind of told you the right thing, but not for corny reasons. You kind of knew when at the end of his speech, you knew, oh, that is the right thing to do. We can't do this, guys. Let's fucking go.
Said. He
Let's
was
roll out.
He was the fucking boss, but he just kind of like put it in blunt, like this is gonna suck, like this is gonna suck ass, but we're gonna do it because this is the right thing to do, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's like, we might not make it back from this, but that's okay because this is the right thing to do. And it was always like everybody just hardened their resolve after listening to him.
Yeah, because you knew Optimus.
He always told the line. He was the one that was willing to go in first. So yeah,
That's right.
shout out to Optimus. Fuck yeah, that was
man.
my guy. Just I don't know. It's funny the good old reliables too. Transform was like a little bit before my time, but I think the Michael Bay movies and all that they brought it back. Was Michael Bay? Yeah, he did all the Transformers. Yeah. So, but yeah, that made it all relevant for me. And again, like even my son, watching him get into transport, right? Like it's funny how everything finds a resurgence after time too. I don't know if that's just a generational parents being like, here, like this because I liked it. Or
Yeah, I never
you know
did
what I
that,
mean? I
but
don't know.
bug out. I only
I'm
like
not
Star
sure.
Wars now. I didn't like Star Wars as a kid.
Oh, that's cool as fuck. So what
My
happened there?
son
What do
liked
you think
Star Wars,
happened?
and then I got into it. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, what
No,
happened with Star Wars? What do you think? Like,
I just look. I didn't like it. Like when I was a kid, Channel 11, WPIX would always show Star Wars, the first one where R2D2 and C3PO are in the shootout. In the beginning of the first part 4.
right.
Before Princess Leia gives the thing to R2D2, I would always see that scene, whatever, and be like, "Who likes this? This is corny." Like, I grew up, dude. I mean, yeah, because I grew up. I mean, when I was 7, I saw my best friend's dad stabbed to death on a basketball court. So
Okay.
it was a different lifestyle where I'm like,
enough.
I don't know. It just seemed phone. I didn't take the time to even try to get into the story because it just, by visually, it just looked like something I wouldn't have liked, which was a lie because I love it now. But my son, by the time he was born, 2003, the Anakin stories where he's a little kid, the prequels were out. And he liked the movie. He liked the movie with Anakin Part 1, Phantom Menace or whatever.
Yep.
He liked it. He wanted to see the whole story. So through him, it made me want to see the whole story. I'm like, well, there's not just 3 parts. There's an old one, and we got into it together. And I'm glad that he did, man. Because for years I'm like, who likes this? Yeah. I guess I wasn't ready when I was younger. This was the time where every Saturday they had karate flicks on in the afternoons, and we were talking about mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
That's my era. I'm an 80s baby. I'm dating myself.
I'm a 80s born, but I'm a 90s kid, if that makes sense. Just flip that 89 right there in the nick of time. So technically an 80s baby with you.
Yeah. Dude, I was born in 78.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I'm a 70s baby, but I'm
it's
kind
of the same phenomenon. Yep.
Yeah.
90s kid here then by all means of the metric. So, but it's funny that you mentioned that, just about how the fact that like your kid liking it made you kind of end up liking it, because a kid, but wonder if that's almost like the way that affection for our goes as we get older too, because like that's what I noticed with my son. It was that I wasn't necessarily right. Like I had my son at an extremely young age myself. Personally, I was 20 when Sonny Boy decided to touch down. So I wasn't necessarily the most mature man at the time yet either. And I don't think I was necessarily in the mood to get right back into my childhood tendencies, as I had just begun to barely grow out of them at all. But then, but then as he started to, obviously you have to interact with your young ones and play and all of that stuff. And it was funny because I would see him take a liking to just Thomas the perfect example for me right off the bat. That was like one of the first things that I saw him take an interest in as a child. And Thomas the Tank was the old wood, the wooden railroad tracks and the trains rolling around and all that stuff. And I still had some of those as collectibles. So I got them out, right? So then he starts playing with my toys, and I wasn't necessarily into this. I literally just put these things away some odd years ago. Right now, here I am being a dad, and I'm going through it all again, and I'm like, this is fun as fuck. Like I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, I'm making a spiral up the mountain with him, and I'm putting the hill down, and like I'm sitting there with my son, and it's kind of hard to feel like this isn't where I ought to be, right? And like this is definitely what I should be doing right now. I should be building a railroad track with my son, enjoying the shit out of myself, even though I didn't necessarily think that I would have been the one to start enjoying that again. Here he is now prying open my heart and saying, hey, Dad, let's have a little toy time together. And I think that's just great too. Same thing for you. Star Wars, you're watching it. You're like, I watched that as a kid. I ain't what's this? And then your son's like, no, check it out. Right?
seeing it through his eyes, he loved that first movie, and he's
Yep.
like, oh well, there's 2 more movies. By the time he was born, all 3 were on video or DVD or whatever. So watch the first 3. I'm like, there's 3 more. I'm like, and I told him the story. He was probably like 4 or 5. I told him I used to think this was corny when I was little and whatever.
Yep.
And we got into it together, man. Yeah, I cherish those. I think back on Avi because he's 23 now. My son, he's the only son I have.
Yep.
I was 24 when he was born, and I had no prospects. God blessed me the summer before he was born. Yeah, it was luck. It was luck. Somebody said, "Hey, they need guys to unload trucks at Giant Stadium," and we're unloading the trucks. And I'm like, "Oh, speakers and music equipment." I'm like, "Yo, who plugs this? This is a cool gig, but I think a cooler gig is the guy that plugged this in." And they're like, "Oh, the union office." When I left, I put my arm around a business agent like a pimp. Yo, in case blah blah blah. And I gave him. I say, if you ever need a guy, like I'm your guy. And 15 years later, I'm still in the union, and I have a lot of stories. I kept the shirts from all my shows that I've done, tour and shit like that. Yeah, it's a cool gig. I'm not gonna lie,
Very cool.
And I learned a lot. And my son, I brought him all around me with that. We went, we did Les Mis, we did Jersey Boys opening night, all these shows, and he was there, like 4 or 5 years old, just chilling on opening night. And I did music, so like I did like the Jill Scott tour and Van Halen and all these things, and I would take him with me there too, so he just soaked in all this stuff, as a kid. That by the time he was like 15, 16 years old, he's like the coolest. He's cooler than Wonder Bread,
There you go.
Yeah, he's too cool for the fucking room, like he's one of them
Yeah,
cats, so.
yeah.
But he's a quiet, he's a Capricorn. Me and his mother are both Aquarius. We're like, he's just more reserved. You don't need to know what he's thinking. He's kind of scary like that. I'm like, what are you thinking? Give me emotions. I can't read them, boy. Like,
Tell me what you're thinking. Yeah. I'm honestly, yeah. Hey, I kind of wondered if that was just a sign of the times with my son. He's the dark, mysterious type too. So I get it. Intimidates the hell out of me. Nah, he's all right. He's all right.
Yeah, it works.
But yeah, it is nice to be blessed, especially with in terms of our children there. I appreciate you saying all that.
I hate to put it like this, but my son's 23. He don't got nobody pregnant. He's not addicted to any drugs, and he likes saving money. Friday and Saturday nights, he's home. He's a home.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, I think I won.
You won. You won indeed. Yeah. Yes. Hey.
Yeah, man.
Our sons definitely. Hey, I think honestly, if I hadn't maybe had my son when I did, I might not have been here talking today.
I wholeheartedly concur with that sentiment. Yeah,
exactly. So, he was the one that made me pull my head out of my ass, metaphorically speaking, so to speak.
He made me leave the projects like for good. When I was
there, you go.
When I was 15, I left. I moved in with my mom, and I came back when I was 19. And everybody says they want to live on their own at 18. At 19, I had my own apartment. And it did not help. It did not make me a good human.
No, fair enough. I get that.
But when he was born, he was probably 4 months old, and there was a shooting on the basketball court. And one of the people, because there was a lot of people shooting, one of them came to my house, and it wasn't bad. He had dinner and he left. And then after the fact, I found out what happened that day. And my son's mother, was like, your friends are your friends, and but I don't want to raise my son here. Saying like, this is not it. He could have been. It was 3 PM. He could have been in the playgrounds right next to the basketball court. Think about, that you're a dad now, and stuff like that. And yeah, he made me leave forever. He made me really pick up my bootstraps and say, all right, let's find a real apartment out of this place. And look, I mean, I made 4 years clean of not using needles on Thanksgiving, right?
Hey.
And I had a 5-year plan, and I already have a house. So I made it before even the 5, like, this is my first home. I own it outright. Bought the fucking cash. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be
Attaboy.
surprised how much money you can save when you don't do drugs. You'd be surprised.
Very good. Very well. Hey, no doubt about that, though, for real.
It's blessings, because at that time it was 2021. There was a lot of COVID money around, so I had all these money, and I was still working. I had one of the essential jobs. Apparently, doing concerts is essential. I don't know how that works, but yeah. Think about that part. You know what I'm saying? But I guess
I was growing weed and doing carpentry. That was my two essentials.
I guess, since everybody had to stay home through the holidays, and they were like telling people to stay home, and oh, you bought a new business and you can't pay your rent because you can't open your store. Oh well, a lot of people were like losing their shit. So a comedy show or Mariah Carey performing was a big deal. It was a place where people could come outside again and kind of be together, and even if they had to wear a mask, at least they were outside. So I can see why, in a way, it's essential, but why they closed the churches but left the liquor stores open, I would never understand.
Yeah,
I can't go to church, but I can get drunk all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where's that cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that.
Yeah, even more to the point, like shutting the gym down too, right? Like shut the gym down, fast food spot. That didn't make much sense, but hey, that's what happened. But
it's
it's
stuff
definitely
like that makes people like us turn to our nostalgic ways and collect things. And so,
that's true, yeah. I like
could,
tangible things in my hand that
we could lean on a time where things were just simpler, and the simple thing like a whole comic just put a big smile on your face, or Charizard. Oh my God, I won! I think you won one of those recently, right?
Oh, dude, I'm 100%. Yeah, I mean, well, we got the wall here behind us of all the graded beauties, but yeah, I'm constantly on there, and it's funny that you were talking about, the way that our children get us back into things or get us into things we weren't necessarily even into in the first place. But Pokemon's a beautiful example of like me growing up actually forced me out of it, but then my son being a young boy forced me back into it. And I thought it's a cool turnaround, dude, because what happened was, after he was born, I had to find, luckily enough, before he was born, I found a house. I purchased that house. I moved in, we did our thing, and life was going on. But, as he started to get older, hey, Bill's caught up with me. And one time I said, hey, I've got all these stack of Pokemon sitting around. I've had it forever. I think I ought to sell it. I think I should just get some cash for it. This was 2016, right? And it was just before Pokemon Go was released on the phones.
Okay.
And I sold my entire original 151 set for I think $400. So something like that, like the type of money that you could get a Charizard for singly now. And Charizard was in that stack, man. And I never, after it all happened, after it all went down, I never really kind of felt right. Like I always felt like I was like, that was like a low blow that I gave to myself in an effort to pay the bills. I kind of shot myself in the foot away. Like, you know what I mean? Like I felt a sense of loss as a result of finding a way to pay those bills. Nevertheless, bills got paid. Life goes on. We didn't get evicted. That's all important stuff. You know what I mean? You can't be a collector if you don't have. So that's,
I could share my story of, I was collecting since 11 years old. And sometime around 16, 17 years old, I sold my collection. And I sold it for $150, 2 boxes, 2 long boxes. And the guy only gave me 75. I never got the other 75. So, and it had Spider-Man 300, so many books that by themselves are worth way more money now. And, so, that's a lesson. I had sold it for drugs, at 16, whatever.
Yeah.
But that was God smacking me on the wrist, like that was a dummy move, boy. So it made me learn a hard lesson. And it took almost 15, 20 years later, one day walking through a flea market, and I saw a book that I bought, one of the first books I ever bought as a kid, and it made me want to start again, and kind of get the books that I sold away. And I started with Wolverine. I got them all. I had 1 through 73, and I got them all. I got 1 through like 150 now. But yeah, so I've made up for what I sold and more. But I still don't have Spider-Man 300. I still,
No, got it back,
it
eh?
costs too much to buy it, in one
Yeah,
shot. I just won't do
yeah.
that. But
Well,
you know,
and that's exactly what happened to me too. I mean, my son came over, my son came over for the weekend one time, and he's just a wee young tot, and he brought his binder with him. And I said, cool, son, what do you got there? And he's in his little cutie little toddler voice. He says, Pokemon. And I look at him and I'm like, what'd you say? I'm like, right? Like, I'm like,
let's see what
you
you
talk,
got, kid.
but
I'll tell
so
you
then
what's good.
it was so funny because I started asking him about Charmander and Charizard. I just started listing off these things, and he looks at me and he says, well, how do you know about Pokemon? I said,
Yeah.
excuse me. Like,
I was there when it started, boy.
That's my toy. You know what I mean?
I could
And
tell
so,
you about it. Yeah.
dude, it was so goddamn funny. And so one of the things that he and I actually began to bond over, like, he was 8 at the time, 8, 9 at the time. And we actually started to build out his collection for him. And then one day we found some Charizards, and they were a little bit more than he was wanting to say put in his collection. And I was like, you know what? I miss them. Like, I miss this shit. I have a fun time doing this with my son. I'm gonna start collecting Charizards. And that was it. That was literally how I decided to become Ogo Charizard as one of my Instagram handles. It was just just me with my son. I was like, dude, you can collect. Like, we were going around and we were getting him lots of stuff, like lots of cards. And you just go to a yard sale or something, and there'd be a binder there, and say, sure, I'll buy this, and he'd walk away with it. So he's got quite a prolific collection already. But then I too got into it, and then of course now he's a little bit older. He decided he wants to make his own money and work his hours and all of that, and so this is now his way to himself. I don't have to get his collection for him or anything. He can do it himself and get what he wants. But it's also a great way for him to learn how to make a goal, set a goal, work for it, ascertain it, and do it again. And that's all of life, right? You gotta just keep, set your sights on something, do it, wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, I didn't
He's
know. Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, man.
No, I was gonna say I didn't know that my son liked comics on his own. He has a friend all his life. He's a FBI guy now, and another friend who's a cop in Union. I didn't know how he became friends with cops, but these have been his friends since little kids. Like, I've known these kids since they were like 7. Like, really. And they all collect comic books, and like they all know because one of their girlfriends, my son's girl, had went to Seton Hall. And right by Seton Hall, there's like a comic book store, and they know the owner, like they know this guy, and I went there with them, and I didn't know how much hunting he does on his own, like for his own books. Like, I didn't know he was that serious. That's all. It's kind of weird,
So
like how it comes full circle. Yeah, like
it's almost like it's a genetic tick in there.
On his
like,
own,
naturally drawn. Maybe it's the
fact. Yeah.
Maybe it's the colors, maybe it's the artwork, like you said earlier, right? Like you were like, that was, it's similar to me though. Like all of the artwork on the cards, and there is an allure to the color. Hey man, we're creatures of nature. You still see the bright flowers, your eyes are drawn to them. You see the cool artwork or the great big sunset or sunrise, your eyes are always drawn to it.
I noticed when I was playing that the Magic cards that were from the 90s or before look better. They're just more detailed. Like let's say there's a tree and a lady on a new card, but that same card, the tree and the lady, in the older card, you'll see more details in the leaves, and it's more like, whoa, like, oh, this is a nice card, like whatever. Yeah, the older cards are really detailed. Like, I could tell in the Magic the Gathering.
Yep.
Those cards are really nice.
And you were just saying that too. So one of the things, I mean, if I ever am lucky enough to have enough space, I would actually dig it if I could go through my comic book collection or even my Pokemon collection, pick out my favorite artwork of not just say Superman or Batman or Charizard, say, those 3, but of all things, because I find as I pop through different genres, as I pop through different types of Pokemon and everything else in between, I find the coolest artwork where I'm like, fucking damn, like, you know, who ate what mushroom that day to see that vision? You know what I'm saying, ID? Like, there's just a lot of, I don't know, man. It's fucking cool, bro.
Come on, Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past, man.
Yeah, this is one of the original ones. This is a
Very
good one.
cool.
This was a great one,
Dude.
Yeah. I think
And
we all
what an
watched
awesome-
X-Men cartoon on Fox when we were kids. You know,
Yep.
I watched, and I was like 16 years old, and I still watched every every episode. I love that cartoon. Yeah, these are my X-Men. Of course, are gonna be my favorite part of the collection, but I got a lot of old ones.
Would you put them out on
This
or
is the
would you
first
get them
one with the
all
blob.
graded, or
If I'm not, yeah,
what would
this is
you
the
do?
first one with the blob. The blob in it. You know.
Bro, I want to just start getting into these freaking comic book titles with you. I have no idea what's even in here. And like that, dude, ID, I don't know if we ever get to hang out in real life or not, but I really hope we do because, like, oh, there's a cool.
Juggernaut.
Hey, there you go. There's a cool cover for you.
Oh yeah,
There
yeah.
you
That's
go.
when he got. That's when he came back from death.
The
That's
Man
after
of
he
Steel's
died?
wedding day. I think they bring him back on. No, I don't know when they bring him back.
He
Black
before Superman. I remember
Superman,
them
Man
before
of
Superman.
Steel, number 3, December 91. December of 91. So I would have been
Yeah.
2 years old when this one was
Wow.
illustrated.
Wow.
Right?
I was 13. I was 13 years. I was starting high school.
Oh, there's Demon. Yo, DC. Do you remember Demon?
Oh wow. Yeah, I remember
Right?
that comic book. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, when you and me get to hang out in real life, bro, set aside a fucking couple days.
Dude, I haven't even gone through one box yet.
Right? And the bald, like, look at this. Look at DC was on some shit. They like to do their stuff dark, man. Right? Like they're
doing a
okay.
Lobo movie, right? Isn't Lobo?
Oh, bro, are you joking me? Check this out. I just put this up thinking of you, thinking of comics. I literally just hung this thing.
Nice. Yeah.
There's my guy right there. One of my favorite villains. Yeah. One of the only ones to give Superman a run for his money in a proper way.
Who's doing it? Who's Lobo? Who's gonna be Lobo in the movie?
I heard it was Jason Momoa. He's been wanting to play play Lobo for fucking ever.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Lobo is his favorite villain. So, yeah, man, it goes on and on with like the comic book lore, the everything we got going on. We're so lucky to live in this time. I feel like I often think that where I'm like, how lucky is it that so many things converged on one spot? You know, like we get to play with yo-yos, pogs, comic books, iPhones, N64s, fucking StreamYard, YouTube, indoor growing. Fuck, who's got time for work? I got hobbies, bro. I gotta go collect, man. Fucking dude, I love it. I love it so much. What are you looking at there? What do you got? What are you searching
I got
through?
my
You're going
X-Men.
through your best.
The first blob ever on the cover. That's the blob. And the Vanisher, but nobody knows the Vanisher. That's the blob. He's like the big he was in the cartoon. He's one of the bad guys.
Right.
It's the first one with the blob. It's number 38, X-Men number 38. From the 60s, probably the early 71, the latest 71. Because they came out in 69, if I'm not mistaken. This one is the first one with the Juggernaut.
Hey, Juggernaut. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
This one is Magneto.
I'm just picking out randos here, dude. 1990. Man, here we go. Son of Brainiac.
Oh shit!
I don't know, man. I think, dude, after the show, I'm gonna get your address because I know I got some X-Men. I'm gonna hook you up with. Okay.
Mutant X, In Search of Mutant X. The funny thing about X-Men, if you really collect issues 1 through like 70 or something, they repeat them. So like issue number 71 is actually issue 1 with a different cover and the same story inside. It wasn't until they got to like 120 something that they started making new like episodes again. And that's where you get the Hellfire Club
Wow.
books. You
Do you
know,
ever wonder? Do you ever wonder if they fucking like ran out of ideas?
Cyclops got kicked out of the X-Men. You know, they kicked him out. A bunch of great stories. Oh, this is a great one. Kitty Pryde. She's if you know the story of Days of Future Past, it's not
Yep.
Wolverine that gets sent back. It's Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde is the one who goes back. And yeah, it's one of the books that lead up to that Days of Future Past. This is issue 139, and Days of Future Past is 141. So yeah, it's where the story starts. The Wendigo. You know what I'm saying?
I think honestly, man, I think you and me are gonna do a lot more of these episodes
Yeah, I
because
can't wait, man.
yo, check this out, bro. I got some Elseworlds shit. Superman skull. Look at this. Look what I just popped out of the box here.
Oh, that's my son likes to collect books like that.
Bro, this is
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is a
the book that has all the comic in it, so you know the whole story.
Yeah. When the
Yeah.
flames of the fire roar strong, I think of him still, shining bright as a midsummer sun. Of his legend are lost in time's misty veils. Rest easy, and while the fire does its work, I'll tell you Cal's story. Cool. And Elseworld heroes are taken from their usual settings and put into strange times and places, some that have existed or might have existed, and others that can't, couldn't, or shouldn't. The result is stories that make characters who are familiar as yesterday seem as fresh as tomorrow. Very fucking neat, bro.
I was putting them back in order. Yeah.
I'm fucking my shit up by just pulling these out, but I'm like, it's totally, it's worth it, bro. I'm like, I'm gonna find some stuff. I'm gonna find X-Men for you, and I'm gonna send them off to you, ID, because this is like, I'm really, really glad that we got to. Whoa, you want to see a really cool cover, bro?
Yeah,
Let's
man,
go.
please.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Wow.
These fucking, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a nice cover, man. Covers were better back in the days.
They were, and like you knew that somebody actually sat and like drew out each line and colored it and shaded it and stuff. October 1991. Best thing to what the comic was like the day of your, like the day you were born or like the day I was born. You know what I mean? Guardians of Metropolis. Cool. Yeah, I don't know what any of these are. I have no idea if they're in any order, but like between you and me, man, I know that we have like so many things to actually go through. It's absolutely nutsos.
Yeah, I love.
What do you got?
I love just kicking it with you about comics and stuff. But we probably should have, like, since we have so much, we should designate a day for like Superman and Wolverine. I think it'll be easier like that.
Yeah, well, dude, there's so much. It's funny because, like, man, if you actually think about, okay, pick one here, one anti-hero, one villain. There is so much. Like, if aliens come to Earth in like 400 years, they're gonna think that we had these fucking beings that could fly around and shoot fire from their eyes and grew fucking ching, like, you know what I mean? Like all kinds of crazy shit going. They'll be like, what's going on here? Like all of this stuff defies the logic of physics and our understanding of how human anatomy worked. And like
and our comics are just like the stories of Greek mythology in
that's it.
Time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's exactly it.
It's like a Zeus or Thor. We literally have Thor. we literally have one of the stories Thor from like Greek mythology.
Exactly.
Comic books. It's like our new lore or whatever. I don't even know how do you quantify
mythology, our own mythos. It is certainly like
that's the word.
It is like a thing for our generation to, almost sit and relish and enjoy. Obviously, it does not take the place of aspects of other organized religion or whatever, what have you.
No.
But that's a whole different story for a whole different
But you
subject.
can get the same allegorical stories to teach
Yep.
with, like
Yep, and
more palatable than thou artist. It might be a little too much for a kid to understand what the hell you're reading, or what the heck you're reading. But read a Spider-Man book, they'll easily understand Peter Parker, the kid that don't get the girl and gets bullied, but he still saves the city by the end, whatever.
It's great, man. No, I think honestly, well, listen, we're both collectors. We barely even scratched the surface on Pokemon, but that's fine. Like, I don't even care, dude. I want you back here again. We've already an hour and a half, just like that. Like, in the blink of an eye, that did not feel like an hour and a half, brother. Just killing it. I've got one here. Should I pop it?
I got
some Pokemon. What? Yeah, and then, man, of course, before we pop this, I'm gonna remind everybody that's watching too. I come back on over to the Discord with us. He's already a member of the Ogo Army. Big salute to you, my man. He's going to hop in there for a little Q&A with the rest of the Army. Yeah. And, of course, I just wanted to remind everybody out in the audience, too, if you guys want to join up, you definitely can. ogogrown.com/membership. But we always do a little Q&A after the podcast. Guests, if they've got the time and they're interested in it. And of course, ID said, let's do it today. So we're going to go over to the Discord, have a little something in our smoking lamps. I'm going to do this one right here with my guy ID.
Yeah.
I love
that. And I'm going to have something to open the next time too. So
don't worry. Hey, you can, man. I would love that. I absolutely appreciate that. We've got some Mega Evolution Perfect Order, one of the newer sets here. We didn't really talk about Pokemon much. It's a collector's economy, all of its own. It's insane. But, dude, and we can do cultivars. We can do everything we want to do. You're more than welcome to come on this show as much as you want, man. Phenomenal guest. So much to talk about. So, we love it, man. I knew we were going to geek out. I knew we'd geek out large. So, all right, man. Here we go. You want to help me guess the energy?
Let's go.
What are you thinking? Is it going to be fire, psychic, lightning,
fire,
leaf? Fire. You got fire? You going fire?
Yeah.
All right, baby. Here we go. We're popping.
I'm living dangerous
with our guy ID. Cheers, bro.
Let's do it.
What do we got? We got kale.
Okay.
Let's pop those. Let's see what we got here.
Halucha. I see a lot of earth.
I see fire. There we go. You got something. Boom, boom. All right, keeping on rolling. What are we gonna find in here, dude?
Jericho. I don't know.
Justin.
Hyper. Hip.
Pokepad. Hey, that's like the things we were talking about. Some old iPads. There we go. Into the hollows.
Wow. Yeah, that's a nice one.
We got some. We're gonna get one. Oh, we got something, bro. Yes. Shit. Come on. We got a special illustration rare. Bro,
come on, man.
I guess I gotta do more shows with my guy iDiesel.
Let's fucking go, baby.
You fucking kidding me, bro? That is a sick card. Nice centering and everything, guys. Okay, ID baby. Welcome to the show.
Comics.
Thank you so much,
man. You never know what'll happen.
You never know what's going to happen, bro. I cannot thank you enough for being here. You want to wrap this one up with me, and we'll head on over to the Discord, chill with everybody, man. Smoke something, and have a party over there. Have a little after party.
For sure. I just want to thank Andrew for hosting this, on his platform and allowing me a chance to just geek out with him. Once we talked that first time on your live, that I came up and I. On my way out, mentioned, I like collecting comics. We need to do it. I got very much souped up and been waiting a month to do this, and I can't wait to do it again.
Let's do it again, baby. Great episode with you. We definitely
thank you.
Over into our comic book geek outery, our Pokemon, our Batmobiles, our artwork, anything like that, man. The whole nostalgia economy, it's alive and well. Dude, what a phenomenal way to kick it off with you. I want you to come on back. It was most enjoyable. We got so much other stuff to enjoy. so much to talk about. All this great stuff around us, dude. You were an awesome person to talk with. Just like that, hour and a half already gone. So we'll go over, have a little after party, smoke some great stuff, and you can do a little Q&A with the rest of the Ogo Army. I know they're going to love chilling with you, bro. And everybody else out there, we're going to wrap this one. Peace with Andrew Heckman weekly, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. All right. Peace.